How to think better in 7 days. Learn how to think better, be happier, and more positive in just 7 days. By M. Salek. Narrated by the author. Copyright 2020 by M. Salek. All rights reserved. Day 1. Objective: understand what is mindset and fixed mindset. Why mindset matters. The way we think matters. Why? Because it affects the way we feel. But why is that important? It is important because the way we feel ultimately determines the way we act. You know how you act very differently when you're really angry or sad? That is why that happens. And this is precisely why one of the smartest pieces of wisdom around is not to act out of anger. This is the concept of mindset. To put it simply, our mindset is the way we think. It is our operating system. I'll repeat that. Our mindset is our operating system. It is how we think. A person's mindset determines how that person thinks. The way we think determines our actions. It does a lot more, in fact, as it determines everything we do and even how we feel. This makes our mindset an extremely important matter, as it affects every part of our lives. The difference in mindset ultimately is why two people facing the exact same situation will often come out with very different results, one better than the other. The difference in mindset is why some people stay stuck while others move forward. So why do some people stay stuck? It is nearly always because they have a fixed mindset. So what is a fixed mindset? Remember that phrase about an object in motion staying in motion? It's a pretty common phrase. The opposite of that is also true. An object at rest stays at rest. That is not just a saying, by the way. It's a fundamental principle of physics. It is, in fact, Newton's first law of motion. This is exactly why when a ball is resting, it will continue to stay in place until it is moved, and then it continues to move again. A fixed mindset, then, using Newton's first law of motion as an example, is a mindset that's at rest. It is a stationary mindset. It stays put. It doesn't move forward. This makes fixed mindset the opposite of growth mindset, which is a mindset that is all about moving forward and progress, but more about that on day 2. Someone with a fixed mindset is destined to not moving forward, if moving at all. They are people who are perpetually stuck, that is, until their mindset changes. Fixed traits. When talking about fixed mindset, one factor that absolutely needs to be explored is that of abilities. Now, here's one of the most fundamental characteristics of people with a fixed mindset. They believe that their abilities are fixed. That is to say that they believe they either can or they can't. Fixed mindset is the mindset that leads to beliefs like how people are born with talents and they cannot be developed. When someone is absolutely convinced that they either have it or they don't, that their abilities and talents are fixed, they won't even try since there isn't any point in trying. Let me put it like this. If a person believes that they do not have the talents to be a good student, they won't even try to be a good student, because as far as they are concerned, what would be the point? Since they were not born with the talents of a good student, why would working at it make any difference? That would be the thought process of someone with a fixed mindset, because based on their beliefs, they just were not born with the necessary talents. This might seem unreal to you, but lots of people think like that. If you don't, however, then I'm sending you a virtual high five, because that means you are clearly on the right track. As for that limited way of thinking that fixed mindset embodies, here is the reality. It is never that black and white. It is never as simple as some people being born with talents while others are not. If it was that simple,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?